It is now 2 o'clock, so I think I'm going to give it a shot.
Kenner Films?
Hi, is this Melissa?
Yes.
Hi, Melissa. This is Deke Ludwig. I'm a UVM student, a University of Vermont student, and
Right.
Robert and I set up a time to chat.
Okay. Just a moment, please, okay?
Okay.
Hi, Deke.
Hi, Robert.
Hi. I'm going to have to be faster than I thought because I'm in the middle of a meeting, but I'd love to talk.
Okay, great. How much time do you have? Just for my own.
5 to 10.
5 to 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I first want to thank you for taking the time. It's just so generous.
You don't even bother. Just jump in.
Okay. The primary goal of this is to get a sense for what the career of documentary filming is like. So I just wanted to start out by asking you, what is the lifestyle like? I can't imagine it's a typical job.
First of all, it depends what position you have in the film world. But, for me, I'm thrilled to be a documentarian because you get to enter all these different worlds. Worlds that you might not go into if you weren't working. My first job was with the roller derby and got to spend a year with the roller derby. I've spent, a week or two with the Tea Party, people who organize the Tea Party, and you get to meet people who have totally different ideas than you, and you get to connect with them in ways that are fascinating. And so on that level, that's my greatest thrill. I sometimes find that when I'm working, there's nothing more exciting than working. So when you go on a vacation, it's always a little disappointing because it's so much harder than be in a place where you're working.
Right. Yeah, that was actually one of my other questions. I was wondering about kind of work-family life, and I was wondering, every job puts a burden on family, but I was wondering what kind of burdens documentary filmmaking puts on family.
Well, your movies become your mistresses. You get very involved. I traveled when my kids were young, so I was gone key points, which was difficult. Sometimes I got to bring them with me, which was exciting. The people you work with, you become very close to. That's a wonderful part. So in a funny way, your family enlarges. And now as we go around for award season, as you if you have some success, you get to go to these festivals all over the world, and that's fun, and get to bring your family for that. But it's, there are no regular hours. We work hard, work crazy hours. Sometimes you're away. We have people here, young mothers who, I try to make it where people can balance their lives and be with their kids when they want to be,
Yeah.
But as an employer, I try to help that.
Yeah. Next question: how do you learn for your work? I'm sure there's an enormous amount of research that you have to do to make a documentary. What are your methods for gaining information and learning?
Well, you depending on what the subject is, like the film I'm doing now is based on Eric Schlosser's book Command and Control. So in a funny way, it was really just a book. So what became the learning I had to do was to get to know the characters who were in the story, to figure out who's gonna, so much of making a movie is casting. Who's going to come to life? Who's going to be a great character? What footage do I have that matches with that character? That's in a more linear story. And a film like Merchants of Doubt or Food Inc., it's like figuring out, you have a whole patchwork of ideas. How are they going to fit together? And what keeps moving the story forward? So you have to keep sort of thinking about the overall arc of the story as you move forward as well. So you're always trying to find. So there are different types of films require different types of solutions. An essay film like Food Inc. or Merchants, you're always trying to find stories that can help advance you and not duplicate. So that's my,
Yeah. Out of all the projects that you've worked on, can you describe one favorite moment that you have had?
Yeah. I have to say there are many. Here's one. I did a film called 2 Days in October, which we won the Emmy and the Peabody and a bunch of awards for, and it was a very, very emotional, very moving film. It's on Netflix there. If you want to get to watch it. And there was a most memorable character, this guy Clark Welsh, in it, and he's up for a Congressional Medal of Honor. At one point, though, he told me he went behind his commander and shot him in the head.
Oh, my God.
And I didn't believe him. I think he was hallucinating. And that's a hard thing to figure out. Do you put that in the movie? It would have made my movie much more dramatic. But I didn't want to undermine him if I didn't think it was true.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think it was true. But later on, Clark came up to me, and he became very close with the daughters of the commander he claimed to have killed. And he said, if I weren't married, if she weren't gay, and if I hadn't shot her father, I'd want to marry that girl. That sticks out.
Oh, my God. And I also wanted to ask, when you go to interview someone, how do you come up with what to ask them? Do you kind of go for, their details about their emotional life, or,
What I do is I work out all the points of what I think we need in the story. But the reality is information never sticks as much. And if you get some real, ultimately you have to leave your questions behind. You prepare as much as you can to make sure you're covered, but the reality is you just want somebody to take you where they want to take you. On some levels, you want to have that emotional pull. That's what people remember. It's not the information.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I also wanted to ask, the entire media landscape in the last 10 years has completely changed, going to the internet and all this kind of stuff. How has that influenced you and kind of the way you do your work? Yeah.
Well, Food Inc. was a big theatrical success, and it sold more DVDs for a while than Avatar.
Wow.
That's not going to be true of a documentary today. In a funny way, theatrical is now more about just marketing and getting the word out. So you still just have to pick subjects. I don't know. For me, I just have to pick a subject I'm in love with because I have to spend a long time with it. And if it doesn't really knock me out, it scares me. So I have time for one big one, then I'm going to have to get off, Deke.
Okay, great. My last one is, like I was just talking about, in this new media landscape, what do you think are the largest challenges for someone like me just starting out, looking at a career in this industry?
I think it's really important to get jobs with people you think are making good films, learn how it works. I worked for a number of years as an assistant cameraman. I got to go on sets so that, you don't just start out being a director. You don't start out you know, you need to become more and more familiar with the process. The challenge is there's a lot of bad television that's being made. The good thing is that one can go out and make films because the equipment's so much cheaper than it used to be.
Are there any key people in your life that were that to you in your early career?
Yeah, I had a bunch of, people that really set me off on the track. There was a cameraman named Don Lenzer. That was great. I got a job. I did National Geographics with a man named Nick Noxon who, basically would set me off to go make, we'd look at a map and say, where do you want to go? And we'd tell stories, and that would set me off to make a movie, and that was very exciting and wonderful. So I had a lot of those people, and those people make the world a difference that can help, usher you into a career. So that would be my big suggestion. So I wish you luck, Deke.
Yeah.
Take care, and I hope this worked out. I hope it was helpful.
Yeah, thank you so much, Robert.
Bye-bye.
It's a big deal.
Big deal.
He was in there. Oh, okay. Well, that went pretty good, I would say. Okay. That was my interview with an Oscar-nominated director, an Emmy-winning director, and a Peabody Award-winning director. So, yay.